Aliens, man.
Here we go! This night, you gotta find that nightmares do come true. We will find you. Trick or treat. This night, you gotta find that.
What's up, guys? Welcome to 31 Days of Horror, Year 3. I am Morgan Film Fan, and this is Day 2. Let's jump into some scares. Dark Skies. I was almost going to say Dark Rises. Dark Skies is a film directed by Scott Speedman and came out in 2013 by Blumhouse, which is usually a hit and miss generally. Cast is kind of new for me too. I really didn't recognize anybody going in. By the way, before I start reviewing this film, I did forget to mention something yesterday. Every film I'm watching this October is a first-time watch for me. I actually started collecting films since May, so it's been quite a build-up to this. Some of these bad boys actually still got plastic on them, so yeah, I've been waiting for this. Pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, Scott Stewart, my bad. Scott Stewart, released in 2013. Basically, it tells, your not really typical, but kind of typical story about an alien invasion. Starts off with this upper middle class family. Everybody seems pretty basic. You got your mom as a real estate agent and a dad as an architect. They have two kids, Sammy and Jesse, and Jesse being the older one. And they're your typical kids. The older, beginning teenager, has this older friend who they kind of hang out all the time. They do stupid shit. They watch porn all the time, which actually plays into something later I'll be talking about. But yeah, Daniel, the husband, his name is Daniel, and he's desperate for a job because he's getting financial problems, and the wife is the only one working at the time. So they're really struggling with all kinds of issues going on family-wise, and then strange shit starts to happen around the house. It starts with the entire fridge being completely dumped of food, and the mom comes in the middle of the night and there's just food everywhere and everything's open. The vegetables are gone. She actually makes a comment what kind of animal eats all the vegetables and leaves all the bacon. And the dad's like, I don't know, a rabbit, a really giant rabbit. But just weirder shit starts to happen. There's an event one night the mom comes down to the kitchen and everything is stacked into in completely neat piles, and she actually starts suspecting that it was one of the kids, as if the kid would be able to do something that complex. But they call the cops. They get an alarm system. The alarm system starts going off at random times with no explanation. The cops aren't able to figure it out. The security people aren't able to figure it out. Nobody really knows what's going on with that. And stuff just seems to get weirder. The family starts to have these weird breakdowns. There's a scene where Sammy's in a park and he doesn't really go into seizure mode, but he just kind of stares into space blankly, and then he just starts screaming. And there's another scene where the mother has a breakdown during a walkthrough showing a house, being a real estate agent. And she again just blanks and then walks up to a window with a blank stare and just starts banging her head all Bird Box style. And things start to escalate from there. There's a bird scene where a shit ton of birds fly into the windows. There's one really creepy scene, which actually I found the creepiest, involving the dad, Daniel, where he's in the backyard and he just has this open mouth thing, and it's like, oh geez, that's gonna stay in my head for sure. I just blew out a candle. But I don't know. My thoughts on this one. It's got a little bit too much of the touch of Hollywood, and what I mean by that is it's very basic, and it's very. I guess predictable is the wrong word to use, although I would say it's predictable as well. It's just so plain and by the numbers, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. That's what I mean by the touch of Hollywood. It is so by the numbers. It's your blockbuster alien movie. It's hard to find an alien film that's just 100% genuinely creepy. I always talk about one of my favorites being The Fourth Kind, even though it really didn't do well with critics. Honestly, it scared the hell out of me. And aliens in general, and just the idea of UFOs and extraterrestrials creep the hell out of me. And that's why, I mean, if anybody wants to post any great, actual, genuinely scary alien films, go ahead and let me know because I am always looking for them. They are a subgenre that are a dime a dozen for to find a good one. But but yes, like that that subgenre definitely creeps me out of a lot of other horror movies in general. I would say the alien genre is definitely up there in the scares for me. Um, Also, the ending I would say is the worst part of the movie. I mean, as a whole, most of the movie is creepy and pretty scary, especially in moments. The aliens are CG, and you can 100% tell, but they're still kind of they're creepy in their own way because the way they move and the way they're shaped, and the way they lurk in the shadows. I really like that. But I mean, the ending just it really goes by the numbers, and it really just takes the movie into that crowd pleasing area where I'm like, yeah, I've seen this all before. It's not doing anything for me. I wrote down here that it definitely takes a little bit more action over creepy, which falls into exactly what I'm saying. Like it falls into that thriller kind of sense in a lot of like a lot of the direction that it goes in, instead of just staying at just the creepiness of its themes, which is more so what I look for in a extraterrestrial film. J.K. Simmons is in here. It's nice to see him. He plays the expert on aliens who the couple goes to see in the third act. And he just the way he talks, he's generally a really great actor, but in this role specifically, you really believe him. He's very believable, and he sells his role really well. Um, yeah, I almost forgot about that. I mentioned the porno at the beginning. So Jesse, I think he's 13 in the movie, and this girl has the hots for him, and she's kind of hinting, for she's hinting at him to make a move, and he doesn't know what to do because he's never been with a girl, so he just imitates what happened in the porno that him and his buddy were watching at the beginning of the movie. And they were watching this like schoolgirl porn where the teacher's like, "Oh, you've been a naughty girl." So he says to the chick, "Ooh, you've been a naughty girl," and just grabs her tit. And she's like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" Oh my god! And then she's like, "You never kissed a girl, have you?" And then she's understanding, and then she gives him a kiss, and then the next scene is him riding home on a bike, and there's this like this like sweet song, kind of like you would see in like a romantic comedy when the guy just gets laid or something, and it's like this like I just had sex song, but like not comical like that, like I don't know, but some sweet like yes teenage dream kind of song, and he's just staring at the sky and he's all smiles. He's like, "Oh my god, first time ever." It's like, yeah, okay. And his friend, I have to mention his friend. He is annoying as hell throughout the movie. Good thing he's not in it too much. Kevin Ratner. Even Jesse's dad makes fun of Ratner, calling him Ratface. This kid is so annoying. He's always just going on. He's like, "Oh my god," like while they're watching the porn, he's like, "Oh my god, I've done this with girls so many times." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, buddy. You look like you don't have more than 2 pubic hairs." I'm sure you've done that with girls all the time. But anyway, there are some funny moments in this movie, but they don't seem forced, which is nice, and the movie stays horror, which I like too. Like I said, it just has too much of that touch of Hollywood. I would come in at probably 39 out of 100. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals. And when I'm rating films here, I'm rating them in the moment. I rated Dominion to the Exorcist like 74. I think I would bring that down after thinking about it and sitting with it. I think I probably would bring it down to like a 64, maybe a 62. But when I'm rating films here, I'm always going to be rating them generally right after watching the film. So I kind of like collect my thoughts on the film, collect on how I felt mostly, and then I come up with a score from there. So right now I'd probably maybe 38, but I'm going to stick with my number at 39 out of 100. And it's a half recommendation. I mean, just know what you're getting going in. It's not mind-blowing. The ending, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but my God, it starts where J.K. Simmons recommends that they fight the aliens. So I'm already thinking like, okay, home invasion. There's going to be this whole War of the Worlds thing in a house, and they're going to stop the aliens from taking the kid. But then other weird shit starts to happen, and things that don't like. There's some scenes that don't make sense at all in the ending, and then the ending. The characters, I'm just gonna say, they start behaving in ways that is unrealistic. Like, people wouldn't act that way. People wouldn't say the things they say, act the way they do, and then the twist, if you can even call it a twist, the twist is so simple and not gut punching whatsoever. You're like, okay, that's all you got? Like, that was kind of pointless. Come on, you couldn't give me anything better? Like, that's how I felt at the end of the movie. And then, just cuts to black and credits roll, and I'm like, we built up to that? Jeez. It was like a little flick to the gut. But, yeah, I think I covered all my thoughts here. I wrote down too, it takes place on the 4th of July. I don't know if that's a huge nod to Independence Day, but it takes place on the 4th of July. But yeah, the bird scene was pretty creepy too, I must say. When the birds are all flying into the window. That, and when the husband Daniel is in the backyard with his open mouth. Creepy shit. But yeah, that's going to be day 2. Dark Skies by Blumhouse and the Weinstein brothers. There's no film you can escape from them. They produce fucking everything, or executive produce everything. But anyway, that's a different story. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, until tomorrow, that's Dark Skies, and I will see you later. Cheers.